Anambra this lovely Monday morning. Well, this is the discussion segment of Good Morning Anambra. My name is Ajuluchuku Okabwe. I hope you are having a nice time wherever you are watching us. And this morning we shall be talking about Nigeria's development, advocating for parliamentary system of government. You know, Nigeria has been tinkering with a whole lot of things, dividends not not bearing the fruit of our democracy. And aristocrats, elder statesmen, people of past government have been thinking of a way to bail us out of this, let's say, conundrum. But in the studio today, we have Dr. Anambra, who is a public affairs analyst. Okay, Dr. Anambra. Okay, thank you for that. Who is a public affairs analyst. I will definitely be looking into this issue of parliamentary system of government. Let's see a way that we can bail ourselves out from this quagmire that we find ourselves in. Good morning, Doctor. How are you doing? Lovely Monday. As a family and everything. Quickly, let's get down. Nigeria. Is Nigeria actually working the way it is currently structured? If I may ask you, what's your opinion on that?
No, Nigeria is not working the way it is structured. We need to decentralize the government institutions to bring it down to the local government and town levels, so that the government will be very close to the people, to the masses.
Okay, well, still talking about government being close to the masses, and then we begin to say Nigeria's development advocating for parliamentary system of government. Parliamentary system of government is something we have practiced before the advent of democracy, and even in this democracy that we have, we are not even practicing it in the true sense of the federalism that we call ourselves. So are you saying that, is it a deviation from the the true federal system of government, or outright going into the parliamentary system of government? At least let us see something that has worked for us before and see if we can initiate it this time around.
The problem is that we are not doing things correctly. How can we say that we are practicing federalism, but in the actual sense, we are practicing unitary? So the problem is that we're not practicing true federalism. If we are practicing true federalism, there will be no need to go back to a parliamentary system. So if we can go back to true federalism, we can still come out better. But if not, parliamentary system naturally devolves power, that is, decentralizes the system to the localities. So any of them being done well will get us out of the current situation.
Oh, well, that's good to know, Dr. Obiora. Well, any of them you're saying that will get us out of the system, but then democracy has been practiced in Nigeria, seems to be one of the most expensive in the world. And then, apart from even being most expensive, we are not even doing it in the true federal system manner, whereby the states would bring to the center, and then the center will relegate certain authorities to the other states and down to the local government, like you earlier said. So now, what will you feel will be the best advocacy for Nigeria to get away from this quagmire, whereby maybe the government decentralizing most of its powers? Where do you think, should it be a government that sits in and then discovers that there is a need to change the status quo? And who wants to bail the cat?
We, the people. Because the people are supposed to be the government. The problem I see is the people practicing that democracy. So my fear is that it is the same people that is not practicing this current one that will also be in charge of this parliamentary system. So if we can be truthful to ourselves, imagine somebody in the National Assembly, for example, how much they're paying themselves. Does it make sense? That's the question. Does it make sense? So if we can tell ourselves the truth, make this National Assembly and state assemblies part-time. Why should they be any more than somebody working at the secretariat? Why? So it is the people. Why should you inflate contracts? Why should you even award contract to your own companies? So these are the things. So it is the people that is actually causing the problem that we are having. The people that is entrusted to deliver for everybody.
So you're saying that Nigerians are not, will I say, aware of the system of government or the actual responsibility of governance. But that's the job of the government, to sensitize Nigerians and be transparent to what happens within the government.
Exactly.
Is it that there's no information or there's no channel of communication between the governed and the governed? Because the people seems to be in limbo as to what happens in governance.
Yes, there's lack of information, and the people at the helm, people on top, it's like they're living different life. Don't you know that some of those people on top, like those in the presidency and the governors, senators, most of them now spend dollars. They don't even spend the naira that we are, our currency. In their cliques, they spend dollars. It shouldn't be so. So those in leadership are out of touch with the masses. They're not communicating with the masses. They're not feeling what the masses are feeling. They are living they're living a different planet, doing their own things. So they're not coordinating with the masses, trying to, So that is the major problem. The leaders should come down and try to solve the problem for eternity, for everybody. Because how can't we have a functioning hospital for the leaders in this country? Why should they be going out? Why should somebody in the National Assembly or a minister send his children to abroad for education? Why can't we have solid education here? And they are the ones to make the policies. And so the leaders have to put their eye on the ground and try to do the right thing for the benefit of everybody.
In the absence of the leaders doing this, do we go to the streets? Do we down tools in order to get the attention of the government, since this is democracy and that it's meant for the people by the people? So what do you expect the Nigerian mass, the citizenry, to do once the attention of the leaders is no longer trickling down to them?
What I expect them to do is not to come out to the streets. What I expect them to do is that these leaders come from their communities. They should go invite their leader back to their communities for him to see how things are, for him to hear them out. One thing I like about this governor is that sometimes he goes out, what he calls whatever meeting. He listens to the people, even everybody. He listens to some of them people. So go back and listen to your communities. See what they want. See what they are going through. And then when you go back there, try to also network with your
constituents,
members in the National Assembly or in the minister or wherever, in the Federal Executive Council. Tell them the truth so that better policies can be formulated to benefit everybody.
Well, thank you so much. There is this popular opinion that, take for instance, not all states in Nigeria is viable to survive without federal allocation coming from Abuja. As a Nigerian and as somebody that has seen the different faces of Nigeria metamorphosed from 19 states to 21 down to this 36 states, do you believe in that cachet, that statement that certain parts of this country can't function without federal allocation, irrespective of whatever natural resources that are embedded, that they have in such areas in this state?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because every state is endowed with natural resources and human beings. You see, this idea of getting national cake makes leaders lazy. They're not looking for things. In America, where I live right now, temporarily though, they devoluted the power. Even the cities are in control of their resources. The cities have police. Local government have police. States have police. Federal have police. Plus other security force. So every state is endowed. If you stop this allocation, you will see these people, these leaders, start working hard. If you are paying workers, if you have like 10 workers in your state because you are getting federal allocation, and that the allocation is not coming, you will cut down to 3 workers, which you can be able to afford. And then you will start looking around your state to see where you can get things to survive. And that will even help you to find things you never knew they existed in your state. So it's making them lazy. Let every state control their resources, and then the ones that cannot, there's no, okay, look at Zamfara. The gold in Zamfara is close to the one in South Africa.
But it's illegally mined. So there's no accountability to what is actually being generated there.
Exactly. You go to Boronu, there's this mineral there that said one gram is $2.something million. That's one mineral. So yes, minerals everywhere. It's just for the leaders to start to look for them, and then we find them. And again, why should you bring foreigners to come and be mining our stuff? Why can't you train Nigerians to learn how to mine those things? Why don't you bring the schools that train miners and establish them in Nigeria here to train our people to mine our things? Why should we bring in foreigners? It doesn't make sense.
Foreigners, I was thinking foreigners comes with the extra baggage of hard currency, foreign exchange.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Is that not meant to be an avenue for other streams of income apart from oil dependence?
Exactly. Exactly. It should be.
So that's the reason why I feel maybe the foreigners are in here to invest in Nigeria. Well, still talking about, I'm sure you fall into the category of people that saw Nigeria work. I'm very, very sure. And now that Nigeria seems to be strangulating us, what do you think is the way forward in order for us to come out of this doldrum? Security is a big problem. We are battling food security. We are battling electricity, infrastructure, health. A whole lot of things seems not to be getting it right. And democracy has been thriving uninterrupted since 1999. And yet we are not getting the basic dividends of it. Where do you think Nigerians should probably tend to in order to see something work for them?
The first thing they should do is to clear all the forests and all the farmlands of terrorists so that our people can go back to the farm and be able to produce the food for the country. The next thing they have to do is to, why are we eating what we don't produce? Why are we eating what we don't have? Cut down on exportation. Why are we importing? Cut down on importation. Why are we importing everything that we don't produce? Why can't we produce them? Why we have the land and the people? Why can't we? So we should go back to production. There's nothing else.
But you need electricity. You need basic infrastructures in order to enable production.
Okay, look at now geometric in Aba, right? I read that to set up that type of electrical company takes 3 years if things are done well. So electricity can be produced if we are serious. Between now and 5 years, if we are serious, engage that bat in energy there. And that man was serving in Obasanjo's regime, I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Engage him, let him tell you, there are other complaints that are ready to come in. So electricity is the major power that we need
to boost
for advancement.
Yeah.
If there's no electricity, there's no life. So for Nigeria to come out, the first one is production. The second one is electricity. The next thing is infrastructure, roads. You see, when I go out to the freeways in America and stay and watch how goods and services move, the faster the goods and services, that's how the economy runs. That's what our leaders don't know. Building the roads will help economic activity faster. So they have to build the roads, build it to last, not the one they build within 2 rainy seasons. We are back to square one. So all those things need to be provided. Then in terms of healthcare, our healthcare is very poor. We have doctors, we have nurses, we have so many professionals, but they're all abroad. We don't pay our workers well here. The other time I was in that program and I told them that even in Anambra State, we should set the pace. Minimum wage should not be less than 150,000 as at today's Naira value. Why are we paying people? And the more you pay people, the more they use that money in the economy. It stimulates the economy. You don't derive anything by paying a worker very poor salary. The more you pay the worker, the more the worker spends the money to do other things. So in terms of healthcare, people should be paid well so you can retain the talent. If you do not pay people well, that's why people are going out. You have brain drain, people leaving. If I'm the president, I will measure my performance by how many queues you have at embassies. Why are my people leaving? Whatever they are looking for outside, I would like to provide it here for them so they can stay. So a government that is serious to solve the problem of Nigeria will solve it within few years if they are serious.
Well, we are still having a whole lot to battle with in this part of the world, and then advocates are saying, well, do we give the parliamentary system of governance another try to see if we can come out from this doldrum? Yeah, in the studio we have Dr. Obiora Mba, who is a public affairs analyst, and we've been talking about Nigeria and then the parliamentary system that we are trying to see if we can initiate to get us out of the doldrum. Now, in recent times, I'm sure in the first instance of 1999, when democracy, we now started thriving again in democracy, little did we know about oil theft. Even probably maybe it was happening. But this day, even a child in primary school is aware that the mainstay of Nigerian economy is no longer sustaining the economy of this country. In your own opinion, does it seem that the government is having as in they are lacking political will in arresting or addressing this issue of our resource drain by a few? And what do you think should be done in order to stop this?
Yes. The government is not protecting what they have. You see, if you look around the world, every country trades. It is trading that every country does. Now, the question is, what are you trading with? What are you producing that you are trading with? So, if what we have in Nigeria is oil, that is our major revenue earner, then why can't we manage it well? I had the Prince of is it Saudi Arabia or Dubai or United Arab Emirates saying that they measure even one drop of oil from their place. So they have measurement of everything that they produce.
There is a tracking system.
Exactly.
To know what is produced.
Exactly.
To know what is refined.
Exactly. What prevents Nigeria from having the same system? Why should we allow people to come and be stealing our stuff, the only thing we have, while our people are in poverty? So the government lacks the political will to do that. And that is the major problem. How can you be playing with what you have?
Apart from the government lacking political will, there have been instances where individuals, certain Nigerians have come up to say that even the government is complicit
That is the problem.
in this crude oil theft that we talk about, because a government, the magnitude of Nigeria, oil theft, where you have regional ragtag bunkers, can't be taking the mainstay of the economy.
That's correct.
So when the government becomes complacent in this, then what do we do? Because as we can see, we no longer have purchasing power with our naira in order to stand competitively with our even regional African brothers, so to say. So what's the best way to go about this? Will parliamentary system of government change anything, or do Nigerians need a general reorientation towards handling what is there?
I will tell people, I will tell the audience what they need to know. The type of government we are practicing today is the one that we inherited from America. Okay, the parliamentary is also, will be inherited from UK. Okay, so this type of government gives all the resources to the government. Before the white man came, the resources in your village belong to your village. So when this government structure gave everything to the government, now the government is responsible for you. Therefore, it is left for the government to protect everything that we have for the people, because the people entrusted everything to them. So I don't know why somebody will be in government and not know that they are responsible to protect our commonwealth for the benefit of all Nigerians. So our way out is either we do this federalism the way it should be done, or go back to parliamentary system, which naturally decentralizes everything down to the grassroots.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Obiora Mba. Well, let's go for a strict walk and get to hear what the parliamentarians out there, the common Nigerians, have to say about the topic that we have this morning that we're talking about. We'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere.
System of government is the best for Nigeria. We borrow presidential system from America, but we cannot afford to maintain the standard the Americans. That's why they succeeded, but we are failing. In those days, Eastern region sustained themselves, Northern region sustained themselves, Western region sustained themselves. But these days, nothing. The state is a waste. State system is a waste. They go to share money, no production, nothing. Abuna Nigeria, Ghana Chiazu, now our former way, the way we came out from Britain. That is better for us.
Since 1999, we've been going downhill, and I noticed that each successive government keeps getting worse. We go back to this parliamentary system, it helps us to cut the cost of governance. The president remains loyal, and all this issue of embezzlement and everything, I just feel like basically that this parliamentary system of government will help keep the president in check.
It should be better for us. If we are in parliamentary system of government, every region will air their view, their problems, their needs and their wants will be known. If we are on presidential system of government, the presidency is far from so many remote regions where people's opinion cannot be heard from the government.
Presidential system of government, which is American system of government, is the best for any nation to develop speedily, but it's not working out in a Nigeria environment. Considering our multi-language, culture and ethnicity, and a high level of corruption of the country, you can see it is not working out. And there is a need for us to go back to the parliamentary system of government and try that system of government again. Use that system of government in the First Republic, and we saw the development it brought to the nation.
Your champs need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast.
It has nutrients that support energy release.
Milo!
Glad to have you back. Well, it's very, very interesting to know that Nigerians are feeling the pulse of and the dividends of democracy not actually getting to them. And a whole lot of people seem to be saying that the system of government, the federalism that we practice is really, really expensive, and that the government is quite far from the masses. And that is what has been re-echoed by Dr. Obiora Mba here in the studio. And then let's give parliamentary system of government. And I can tell you for sure that there are certain benefits, certain dividends of that parliamentary system of government in the 60s that Nigerians are still ripping off from today, that we are still enjoying today. Quickly, Dr. Mba, before we round up on this issue, now that Nigerians have, your generation has seen the parliamentary system of government work, and then democracy that seems to be what the entire world, United Nations and the rest of it, are clamoring for Africa. Let me even use this word for Africa. Where do you think we will find ourselves? Do we need our colonial masters to come up and telling us that this is what is meant for you? Or do we as a people now decide that this is what we want for ourselves? Where do we go from here, and how do we get it right?
Yeah, exactly. We cannot allow the colonial masters to be telling us what to do, because we are no longer children. We're supposed to develop our own system and practice it in the way that it will be beneficial to our people, you know. So we have tried this American system. When Obasanjo came in, I think it worked. He did a lot of things, paid our debts, but did everything, and we continued. But now I can't really understand. The major problem is that our major income earner, which is oil, is being mismanaged. If that product is being managed well, then every Nigerian will benefit.
But even before the advent of this oil that we so much clamor to be our major earner, what happened when it was agriculture that was the mainstay of Nigeria?
Exactly.
The soil that these agricultural products were being cultivated and planted, have they all of a sudden, you understand, gone so bad that we no longer can plant on them? What is really happening? I think it's a case of the government coming to have a rethink on, apart from diversification of Nigerian mainstay, what else can we do? Because even the agricultural mainstay that we're talking about, how many places do farmers actually farm with this high level of insecurity?
Exactly.
So the question is, what do you think Nigerians should actually do in order for us to come out of this doldrum? Because everybody knows the difference in what it has been and what it's presently in right now. Quickly, before sorry for pausing you there, there's something that really actually came to my mind when you were talking about one of the fastest way in order to get an economy moving is by building roads and infrastructure. And I remember there was a president of America that said that the best way in order to link the whole of America and bring production was to invest in railroads and roads, and that opened up America. That's Theodore Roosevelt that did that way back in the 60s, in the 50s and thereabouts. And then, are you advocating for same for this part of the world?
Exactly. That's what we need. Because if you see the goods being transported by one train, the coaches will run from here for almost 5 miles. Imagine the goose that is 5 miles long in a train. So we need all those roads, train, even with the oil we have, airline transportation will also supposed to be cheap here, affordable, so that with all this, the economy will be moving faster.
Thank you so much. Well, we don't really have much time, but then, well, I believe that for those of you that are watching and then the leaders of this country, we've had several, will I say, reports. The Onasaya report is still out there of 2014, waiting for revisiting for us to really know the way forward in order to know how best we can come out of these doldrums and then manage the very best of what we have. There are countries that have, you understand, tried different system of government that didn't work for them and ventured into something else. And now they are having a very good experience with what they're actually having now. And we expect the same too for Nigeria. Well, Dr. Obiora Mba, I would say thank you so much for availing us the opportunity to be here this morning for us to talk about Nigeria, because anytime we're talking about Nigeria, it's always a thing of passion because we have no other country but this. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And to you viewers out there, we say thank you. This is when we're going to be calling it a shot today on this segment. Another segment is definitely coming on. I'm still Okabwe Ajulichukwu here. Hoping you have a nice Monday. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is In-Depth. Hello, Doc, and welcome to the program. The chairman, Anambra State Association of the Deaf, Mike Obiajulu Meze, educational consultant, executive director, legal practitioner, engineer mother, executive director, Wanokwara Ncheta, Dr. Uju Okoye, and we're glad to have you here today. Whose responsibility is it, and how can we make sure that our children are educated because matters involving sex? Parents need to protect their children. Why will people want to employ quacks to construct their buildings? You meet somebody from UK and you ask the person, where are you from? The person tells you, I'm British. But you meet somebody from Nigeria, the first thing they tell you is, I'm from Igbo, I'm from Hausa.
Improper training of children. I call them a more developed society.
The factor that results to that in Nigeria is glaring.
What influence will those kids have in society?
Great bad influence on the main reasonable children we have in this society.
In-Depth with Priska Wankwo on ABS Television, Mondays and Saturdays.
Catch the excitement, fun and thrills on Jolly Jolly with Rume, your #1 pidgin television program, every Monday by 2 p.m. and Fridays by 5:30 p.m. on ABS TV channel 24. Relax and enjoy premium jollification all the way.